Hello, welcome to my latest lesson in complete soccer league management system. So today I'm going to implement 3 layers for player position entity. That is, I'll be implementing application, infrastructure, and API layers in one go. So let me switch over to the project. So let me create a new branch. So I'm going to call this 3 layers for player position. And I click create. So first thing first, I'm going to create a new folder in DTOs called player position. That's under the application project. Now inside player position, I'm going to create a class called player position DTO. Now this is my implementation for player position DTO. Then I'm going to create another class called create player position DTO. Now this is also going to be my implementation for that. The next class will be update player position DTO. Now I'm going to go to persistent folder. I'm going to create an interface called iPlayer position repository. So persistence folder is under contracts folder. So add new item, interface, iPlayer position repository. So there are three methods in iPlayer position repository. One of them is get active positions async. Now the next thing to do is to create the mappings for player positions. So this time around I'll go to mappings folder. I'm going to add a new class. The name of the class will be player position profile.cs. So this is the implementation for player position profile. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to features folder. We are going to create a new subfolder in features folder called player positions. And then we are going to create another subfolder called commands. And then we are going to create another subfolder called create player position. Having done that, we are going to create a command called create player position command. So I right click on create player position folder, add class, create player position command. That's the code for it. So next thing is to create the handler for create player position command. This is the handler. Then we need to create player position command validator. So this is create player position command validator. So we ensure that name is required, code is required, and the display order cannot be negative. Under commands, we are going to create another subfolder called update player position. Then we are going to create a class called update player position command. So this is the implementation for that. Then the next one will be the handler for the update player position command. So this is the handler for update player position command. Then we need to create the validator for update player position command handler. So this is the validator. Inside the commands folder, we are going to create another subfolder called delete player position. So we are going to add a new class called delete player position command .cs. This is my implementation for that class. Then we are going to create the command handler for delete player position command. Now we are going to create another subfolder under player positions called queries. So we are going to create a subfolder under queries called get all players positions. Then we are going to create a class called get all player positions queries.cs. Then we are going to create the handler for get all player positions query. So now I'm going to create another subfolder under queries. The name of this subfolder will be Get Player Position by ID. Then I'm going to create a class inside that folder called Get Player Position by ID Query. So this is my implementation for Get Player Position by ID Query. Then we have Get Player Position by ID Query Handler. This handles the query definition we just created. This is the definition for Get Player Position by ID Query Handler. So we are going to create another subfolder called Get Active Player Positions. So we are going to create a new class called Get Active Player Positions Query. Then we are going to create the handler for Get Active Player Positions Query now. So this is the implementation for get active player positions query handler. Now I'm going to move to the infrastructure layer now. I'm going to create a repository called player repository.cs. So under repositories folder, I'm going to right click on repositories folder. I'm going to say add class player position repository.cs. So this is the definition for player position repository. It implements it inherits from generic repository class and implements iPlayer position repository interface. So here we get all active player positions ordered by display order. Then we need to update our infrastructure service registration. And it's just this line that we are going to add. The final place we are going to visit in this lesson is the API project. So you are going to create a new controller called player positions controller. Add controller API controller empty. Add name of controller is player positions controller. So this is the implementation. For player position controller. So with this, we have come to the end of the lesson. Thank you for watching.